You've no doubt heard the phrase, "it's always darkest before the dawn," and while things are looking bad for the WWE right now, there are plenty of storylines that could turn Raw and SmackDown Live's ratings around. Join us now as WrestleLamia looks at 10 storylines that can revive the WWE's poor ratings. Number 1. NXT vs Raw vs SmackDown. It's time for the WWE to make the brand split count for something, and what could be better than a well-crafted war between the superstars of NXT, Raw and SmackDown Live? The angle would feature Triple H leading the forces of the yellow brand, Paul Heyman the red brand and Eric Bischoff the blue brand, as each claims his brand has the best superstars in the WWE. Now, authority angles have been done to death, so the WWE should refrain from each brand's leader using their power to screw over the wrestlers from other brands. And let's face it, there's no reason to do a winner-takes-all storyline, as everyone knows the three brands are under the WWE corporate umbrella and that none of the superstars are going anywhere. Instead, the winning roster might get a storyline benefit, such as the ability to draft one or more superstars from another brand, kayfabe cash prizes for winning wrestlers, and perhaps a chance for the winning brand to send someone to compete for another brand's title, with the possibility of keeping the belt should they win it. Number 2. Less pay-per-views. The wrestling industry is constantly evolving, and once upon a time, pay-per-views were the way for promoters to take a major house show and sell it to millions of people at home. However, with the WWE network airing shows for free, that model's no longer the case, and the real money is with the TV networks that pay big bucks for the rights to air Raw and SmackDown. It's important to keep pay-per-views on because they are a selling point for the WWE network, and if done right, they provide a way to air longer matches and build them up through weeks of story arcs on regular TV. However, there's no reason for 12 or more pay-per-views, especially when they can't sell tickets to them and they don't make them any more special. The WWE should consider scrapping all but its big four: Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, SummerSlam and Survivor Series, and Evolution, the WWE's all-women pay-per-view. Gimmick matches should be featured on every single of these pay-per-views, not just one dedicated to a single one. Oh yeah, and bring this gimmick back. Number 3. Bring back the King of the Ring. The King of the Ring tournament has a mixed history, with forgettable kings such as Billy Gunn and regrettable kings such as King Mabel. At the same time, it also helped build up the careers of wrestlers, thrusting them into the main event, superstars such as Bret the Hitman Hart, Edge and Stone Cold Steve Austin. The King of the Ring works best when the WWE airs first round matches on Raw and SmackDown, setting the stage for the big matches at the pay-per-view. The WWE should make this a tournament that means something, whether it's giving a winner a WWE Championship match at SummerSlam, as they did with Brock Lesnar in 2002, or giving the winner an Intercontinental Championship or United States Championship match. Whatever the case, the winner should be pushed at either the upper card or main event level, otherwise the tournament is meaningless, as it became when the WWE brought it back briefly in 2010 and 2015. Number 4. Put the Cruiserweights on NXT. 205 Live is an experiment that just doesn't work. The WWE is wasting talent by putting them on a show with low numbers, and 205 Live stars would be better served appearing on NXT, where they could lend their experience to the yellow brand's rising stars, while putting on show-stealing matches NXT has become known for. The Cruiserweight Championship would be a good addition to NXT, giving the NXT stars another belt to compete for, particularly those who aren't heavyweights. While a second hour might be too much for NXT, the WWE may want to consider it, as it would give the promotion stars more exposure, and see how Triple H is at booking a 2-hour show. Number 5. Turn AJ Styles heel and reform the Bullet Club as the WWE's biggest stable. While fans rightfully criticize the WWE for some of their weak factions such as X Factor, the League of Nations and the Spirit Squad, there have been some incredible ones dating back to G-Generation X and Evolution, and as recently as The Shield and the original Nexus. The WWE could do well to form its own variant of the Bullet Club, relying on former Bullet Club members AJ Styles, Carl Anderson, Luke Gallows and Finn Balor to form a faction that plays havoc with Raw. While AJ Styles needs no help with his career, Anderson and Gallows would benefit from an association with Styles as well as a strong tag team push. While Finn Balor has been doing well as the Intercontinental Champion, this could help him cement his spot in the upper card and even break through into the main event, and it wouldn't take much to bring Balor over to Raw considering how much the WWE has been featuring stars from opposite brands. Styles could turn heel and lead the group, but things might be better if this faction worked as tweeners, beating down both heels and faces. The WWE might want to come up with a name besides the club, and we're certain Paul Heyman won't have any problem coming up with a cool name that captures the group's attitude. At some point the group might bring in 1 or 2 more members, but be prudent in keeping it from becoming a haven for jabronis as the New World Order did later in its run. Number 6. Xavier Woods betrays Kofi Kingston. Rumours about one of the New Day turning heel has been as common as rumours that Rusev is leaving the WWE, and that John Cena is leaving WWE for good in order to pursue his Hollywood career. Nevertheless, with Kofi Kingston shining as a main event singles star, it couldn't be a better time to turn on one of the Dreadlock Dynamo's New Day brothers heel, and we think Xavier Woods fits the bill perfectly. They could run a storyline where Woods grows resentful of supporting Kofi as champion and jealous of all the attention the WWE champion is getting right now rather than him. This could lead to Woods being in Kofi's corner at SummerSlam. Rather than helping Kingston, as he has in the past against outside interference, Woods could intentionally cost Kofi the belt. This would lead to a lengthy feud, and while Big E could be the team's Judas, Woods seems like a better fit as he has the attitude and wrestling skills to make for Kofi's arch rival, while Big E is a bit too playful for such a role. Although we have confidence Big E might grow into the role, why not give the role to someone who's ready now? This could also be Big E's chance to shine in singles competition, something he's ready for at this point. Number 8. Bring back Sasha Banks and program her against BAYLEY. While Sasha Banks' WWE status seems to change day to day, is she working the fans or is she really upset with the WWE? Let's go with the latest news that the boss and WWE seem to be back on the same page. If so, it's also been said Banks is going to be put into a storyline as soon as she returns. One storyline the WWE needs to consider is a Banks vs BAYLEY feud. While BAYLEY hasn't had much time to shine in singles action during her current reign as SmackDown Women's Champion, she's done well so far, and a program with former Women's Tag Team Champion partner Banks could help both superstars. The WWE has talked about a Boss vs BAYLEY feud for the last year, even teasing it at times. Let's pull the trigger on an explosive feud between the two, as the former best friends turn on each other and feud for the Women's Championship. The WWE could have Banks return to help BAYLEY against Alexa Bliss, and whoever Bliss's latest stooges, with BAYLEY thanking Banks with a title shot. The WWE should then turn the huggable one heel, as she resorts to heel tactics to keep the belt around her waist. A Banks heel turn might seem predictable, but a BAYLEY turn towards the dark side could work well, not only for shock value, but to expand BAYLEY's abilities as a performer. Number 8. Ending the wildcard rule. The wildcard rule has been a disaster since day one, and it continues to get worse week by week, with superstars coming and going from the blue brand to the red brand with no rhyme or reason, and Raw stars popping up on SmackDown with reckless abandon. With Paul Heyman and Eric Bischoff taking control of Raw and SmackDown respectively, the WWE should end the wildcard rule, but keep the brand split and reserve interactions between the two rosters for special occasions, either Survivor Series or the aforementioned NXT vs Raw vs SmackDown storyline. They may also want to spice things up by giving Raw and SmackDown a chance to trade 2 superstars from the other brand. Short of a Titanic-like drop in ratings, the WWE should lock in the brand split for at least a year, giving Heyman and Bischoff time to craft their brand-specific storylines using the wrestlers under their control. Number 9. R-Truth finds himself in the Firefly Funhouse by accident. R-Truth's talent for making the fans laugh should be utilised somewhere besides his current role in the 24/7 Championship chaos, although we think he needs to stay there as long as he can, keeping things fresh. In fact, R-Truth could be used to help bring Bray Wyatt to the main roster, with Truth stumbling across Firefly Funhouse and discovering none of the puppets talk and are inanimate objects, hence a figment of Wyatt's imagination. This could signify Wyatt is done with the Funhouse and ready to return to the ring. Believe it or not, this wouldn't be Truth's first encounter with Bray Wyatt. Back on 3rd December 2015, Truth had a bizarre interaction with the Wyatt family during an episode of SmackDown, and this one could lead to Wyatt's wrestling return as well as the following storyline. Number 10. The Fiend vs the DEADMAN. And speaking of the Fiend, what better feud could he have than with the WWE's other dweller in the darkness, The Undertaker? With Taker reportedly looking to work more matches in 2019, as long as they're not against Goldberg, A program against Bray Wyatt could make up for the far too short program the two worked back in 2015 at WrestleMania 31, or the feud between the Brothers of Destruction and the Wyatt family. One of the current rumours going around is that the Phenom will fight Baron Corbin at SummerSlam and Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania 36. A Taker vs Baron Corbin feud does not sound exciting in the least, and a Wyatt vs Taker feud would be light years better. A program stretching from SummerSlam's to 2020's Showcase of the Immortals could help jumpstart Wyatt's return and give The Undertaker an opponent who fits his style as a supernatural creature. Depending on how receptive Taker is to the idea, Wyatt could even end the dead man's career at Mania, absorb The Undertaker's power, and move on to the main event program for the WWE or Universal Championship. But there you have it guys, 10 compelling storylines to jumpstart the WWE's ratings. What do you think of them? Be sure to let us know in the comments down below, subscribe if you haven't already, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.